Mariners finally did it, winning 6-2 versus the Houston Astros in game 2 of that series, and I brought a special guest with me in today's Mojo breakdown of today's game. Joe, what'd you think?
You know, phenomenal. Just absolutely, I think, great job across the board. There's some lucky things that happened. We definitely got lucky. But if that's what it takes to get a win on the board, right? All it takes is one, and then the ball can continue to roll.
Yeah, I mean, it's about damn time the Mariners got lucky because honestly, they've been getting really unlucky lately. I mean, I think back to the Rangers series, there's a couple 60-mile-an-hour base hits the other way or
Yeah.
whatever,
Hmm.
and the Mariners hitting a ball 100 miles an hour. But breaking down today's game a little bit, it was a good one. George Kirby pitched really, really well. The bullpen pitched well,
Mm,
and the guys came out to hit, you know?
yeah.
So I think that we should start first and foremost with George Kirby
Yes.
because he didn't have to pitch the seventh inning.
He did not have the pitch seventh inning.
Scott pulled him.
Yeah. I mean, 84 pitches. It was, we'll get to the beginning of his start. We're going to kind of work backwards, I feel like. I feel like going to Topa just didn't work out. And luckily, Brash iced up. But Kirby probably had another in him if he really needed him to. He was only at 84 through 6. Like if we really needed it. And, seeing how Topa did, maybe it could have been nice. But Brash gets it done. It was the first inning that was wild. It was sketchy. Bases loaded,
Mhm,
but George Kirby, he works out of it. And then after that, it was quiet for the Astros the rest of the night, the whole way.
mhm. And I mean, Georgia's stuff was nasty.
Yes, dude,
Like, it was nasty.
movement all across the board.
I don't understand how George Kirby specifically gets so many swings like a foot above the zone. I've never seen anybody get that many swings a foot above the zone. Like the big strikeout of Jose Altuve in the ALDS of
Yeah.
last year, it was like a foot above zone when George flexed on him, and then
Hmm.
he basically got him on that same pitch again tonight.
Yeah.
And George Kirby, I don't know, there's something about the way he pitches that it must look like the ball's rising or something because my goodness, he gets that swing and miss pitch a lot.
Yeah, he challenged Jordan with that same one too and got him. And it was, I think Goldsmith on the call said mano y mano, and that's exactly right. That was a big out for George to get. There is, a little bit of an elephant in the room to talk about with George. You wanna lay down the law on this idiot?
If you're the guy that threw a ball from the stands and hit George Kirby in the chest, you're a piece of shit. And I hope that your dinner tastes bad for the next 3 weeks. Every time you take a bite, I hope you bite your tongue and you slowly chip away at it.
Oh,
I hope that you never, ever step foot in T-Mobile Park again. And I hope that your family disowns you.
did you see his mom chewing him out?
That was not his mom.
No,
Are you talking about the lady?
the
No,
blonde
she works
lady.
there.
The blonde
She
lady.
works there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's one of the supervisors. I know because she was one of my
Got it.
supervisors.
Yeah, Twitter was saying that was his mom.
Oh, that's not his mom.
Yeah,
She's like one of the team captains.
you heard it here first. It's a team captain, not
I
his
can't remember
mom.
her. I can't remember her name. It's something to do with like a flower or something like that. Maybe Daisy. I don't remember, but
Regardless,
she's a
give
very nice
give
lady.
the Mariners hitters their flowers tonight because the Mariners did their job and got on the board. Right,
That's right.
we put together more than a couple hits, albeit Justin Verlander compared to Christian Javier. You could say that like at their peak, at this time and frame of baseball, Javier could be good like Verlander was, but he wasn't tonight. And the Mariners got to him. It was looking a little rough in the first two innings. And I was like, he was way too low in his pitch count. But that third inning, worked him really hard. What'd you see more out of the Mariners hitters tonight compared to the previous 4 games?
I think they really just adjusted, honestly, with I mean, it was pretty clear that Christian Javier was working at the top of the zone. It took the Mariners hitters about the first time through the lineup before they actually, were able to get to him.
Hmm.
But once they realized that he's throwing literally everything at the top of the zone, and he's getting some of those calls too, which some of them were terrible calls.
Yeah.
He's getting some of those calls. So the Mariners hitters adapted to that, and they were able to knock him out of the game early, take some really tough pitches from him as well. So I think overall, really good job by the Mariners offense today. And like you said, comes with some luck. The Astros did commit 3 errors. I guess let's take a look really quick at the box score. So looking at the lineup, of course, JP, 0 for 3 with a walk. Julio also walked, and Cal also walked. Cal had a big game today, going 2 for 3. Of course, I think the biggest night of them all was Ty France. And that home run that he hit was obviously in the end, it was just, an add-on run,
Yeah.
but it played big when you have Yordan Alvarez at the plate and Kyle Tucker on deck hitter would have been the tying run instead of Jordan being the tying run. What did you see out of, I guess, Ty and the rest of this Mariners offense that going forward they can work with the rest of the year?
It just looked like they were finding the holes in the defense a little bit more today. We talked about unlucky hits in the previous series where it's finding a glove. I think in yesterday's game, there was a 100-mile-an-hour lineup to start the game. I think you tweeted something about it, catching a glove, finding a glove. Today, Cal Raleigh, broken bat, scores some runs. Ty France, ball the other way, getting hits on the board. Josh Rojas, top of the zone, puts the ball the other way, finding the ball and putting the barrel to it. Jared Kelenic had a great hit as well. But you're right, Ty France, if that can inject some lightning into his veins, get him going, get him fired up. Because if that bat gets hot, especially in the 8-hole where it's at, that's dangerous at the bottom of your lineup.
And I like the lineup, honestly, that Scott rolled out today. I think that's the one they should just use the rest of the way,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I don't care lefty, righty. It does not matter to me. You're putting your best guys out there. And honestly, when there was bases loaded, they brought in Dylan Moore. I would have rather seen Mike Ford hit.
Probably.
I would have much rather have seen Mike Ford hit. I don't want to watch Dylan Moore in key situations anymore. I don't. Not this year.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he missed so much time. So I look at it as this was a full team effort from the Mariners, and obviously pitching staff minus Topa were very good today. The defense did their job. Gino had some really nice plays over there at third, almost end of the game.
Air Gino
like he was
sick,
riding a pony or something like that. And looking at the Astros hitters here, as I go through their batting stats, obviously Jose Altuve had 3 hits, went 3 for 5. Jeremy Pena had a good game, going 3 for 4 as well. But overall, just 1 walk today by Mariners pitching, and that was to Kyle Tucker. And that was an intentional walk. Yeah. So, very good game from the Mariners pitching staff. Of course, we saw Martin Maldonado not hurt the Mariners, which is good. But I look at their pitching staff, for example, with Cristian Javier, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks is a big one, and then 6 strikeouts. The walks hurt him. They did. And obviously his defense also.
Yeah, did not pay him any favors. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mariners double agent, Rafael Montero, coming in clutch, looking like a true former Mariner at that point. That was, tough outing for him, but a good guy to capitalize against, to make Dusty use him in that situation, and you get him to, he doesn't even record a single out. I mean, it's similar to the Justin Topa line, just, the earned runs and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I liked what the Mariners did against the Astros pitching staff all day.
For sure. And I think, you got Ryan Stanek in the game as well. For the Mariners, they did use their high leverage arms, obviously Topa, Brash, and Munoz. You didn't necessarily have to go to Munoz, but it's the Astros lineup, so I don't care if you need to go to Munoz for all 5 games remaining. Use him. I don't care. He's pitching back to back to back to back to back to back. I don't care.
You got to get the win.
Mm-hmm. So going forward, then obviously we saw the Rangers lose to the Angels today. The Angels did what the Mariners can't seem to do, and they beat the Rangers. And the Blue Jays also lost today with the Astros losing. So the Mariners gained a game on everybody, every single team that they're chasing right now. The division, what are they, 3 games out now of the division? Obviously, you need some help with once the Astros go on to Arizona, you need some help there. But you can still not very easily, maybe that's the wrong term. You can still take the series from Texas and win the division. You can. It's right there in front of you. And while this game was far from perfect, it was still a step in the right direction for a Mariners team that has not lost 5 games all year. They're like one of 2 teams in all of baseball that have not had a losing streak reach 5.
Wow, I mean,
I know.
I don't want to say that's impressive, but it to a degree it is. And with the mediocrity that the Mariners have had in most months besides July and August, you would have expected maybe one of them sprinkled in there, but it just kind of is a testament to show that they're not going to let it slip away that much.
Yeah, and this was a must-win game for the Mariners, and I think tomorrow is also a must-win game. It is. You have to beat the Astros. And once they go on to Arizona, there's nothing you can do. You need to take care of what you have in front of you now, and that is beating the Astros. And then from there, you just win, and you hope that the Diamondbacks can take care of the Astros in their, I think it's a 3-game set, right? Because they're off Thursday. So going into that series versus Texas, you could be in a wild card spot if you win tomorrow, and with Houston staying idle. And then, of course, the 4 games in Texas, you have a chance to win the division in those 4 games. If you, quite literally, whatever happens tomorrow, if you go in to that series and you sweep Texas,
You win
Then
the
you're
division.
tied.
No.
If they win tomorrow, you lose. Then
Oh, I
and
see what
then
you're
you
saying.
sweep Texas, then you're tied,
Tied,
and
but
then they
then
win
you,
the division.
yeah.
But you'd be in a wild card.
Hmm.
But if they lose tomorrow, you win, and you sweep that series, you win the division. I mean, sweeping the Rangers is not going to be easy for the Mariners. Don't get me wrong, but nonetheless, it's there. Obviously, I felt better about it going into this 10-game stretch than I do right now in the middle of it. But
Yeah.
this is exactly what we needed to see out of this team, and they're not dead yet, and we know they're going to take it down to the wire.
Yes. I mean, we've got, is it official Bryce Miller on the mound tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be, it's another night game Wednesday because we got Thursday the rest of the way. And Bryce Miller, he's got to go in there and give them the best they got. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, I mean, he pitched well against Houston at home. I think earlier on in the season, he needs to bring that level of Bryce Miller back. He's got to just everything he's got left in the tank, got to be ready
Mm-hmm.
to go.
Yeah, and I mean it's his last start of the year, so give it all you got. It doesn't matter. You're facing Framber tomorrow, so the Mariners are probably going to roll out their right-handed lineup of Dylan Moore, probably Sam Haggerty.
Mm-mm.
Who knows? So
No.
I'll probably throw up if I see Dylan Moore, Sam Haggerty, and Jose Caballero in the same lineup tomorrow. But it's very possible. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't care how you do it, but you have to win tomorrow, even if it's a 1-0 win. I don't care. You have to win. Bryce Miller needs to bring his A game. And then you have Brian Wu in that first game against the Rangers. But we will talk about that in tomorrow's Hit It Here podcast. For now, we're going to call it a night here for the post game, Mojo post game. Joe, thank you for joining me.
Of course.
We'll see you guys all tomorrow, and go Mariners.